What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 81 of the Sorta Interesting podcast, and welcome to our final week of Rock and Reviews, where we are reviewing movies starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And today we are reviewing Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I am your host. My name is Christian Patam. With me is my co-host, as always, the most electrifying man in all of podcast entertainment. Today, the man who will layeth the smackdown on all your candy asses, the great one, Myles, darling. Myles, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. But to be honest, I'm a little sad that this is the last week I'm using that intro because I've come up with a new series next week. I haven't come up with it. You came up with a new series. Since you came up with it, Myles, you please tell the audience what new series we are doing starting next week.
We're doing Broken Lizard is ouch. Ow. Ugh. Broken Lizard series. That's if you're not familiar with Broken Lizard, they're a group of fellas who
comedy troupe, I think. Is that the proper term for that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Troupe? Mike Troop. They have created some of the greatest cult classic movies that you've ever seen, and you probably don't know.
Very culty. Them movies.
One of the biggest movies that they've done. Which one was big? Beer Fest. We'll say Beer Fest.
I say Beer Fest is probably the biggest one.
Say Beer Fest is the biggest one, but man, this is a tough one because I like all their movies. Kind of. Beer Fest and Super Troopers are the ones that they.
Those are probably most famous, definitely.
Most popular. So the Super Troopers, Beer Fest, Slammin' Salmon. I'm sure a lot of people don't know about that movie.
Right. So next week we are starting with Slammin' Salmon, a movie I have not seen yet. So I'm very excited to watch that. Then after we are doing, I believe, I have the calendar here. We got Slammin' Salmon next week. The week after that, Super Troopers. The week after that, we are ending it with Beer Fest, which is my favorite movie from them. But Myles, I have another surprise. We kind of talked about it. The week after our Broken Lizard series, we are starting the Mortal Kombat series, which I am so hyped about. So starting the week of April 3rd, that's going to already be in April, we're going to be doing the first Mortal Kombat live action movie. After that is going to be Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then to end it, the release of Mortal Kombat. It's just Mortal Kombat, but that's the 2021 live action version on HBO Max. Very excited for that. And that's already coming soon. So it lined up perfectly with our schedule. So we're doing Broken Lizard and then Mortal Kombat after. So I'm very excited for that. But Myles, my question for you today, for today's side podcast, is simply, what is your favorite food? Let's say if you were on death row, right? One day you're doing sexy time with Lex, and then you accidentally choke her, and while you're climaxing and you're having the best orgasm of your life, and you don't let go, and you accidentally kill her. And guess what, Myles? Now you're on death row, and you're about to be executed, and they ask you, Myles, you have one last meal as your death row meal. What would it be? And feel free to add as much things as you want. I've seen a bunch of articles and stuff. I've seen a bunch of articles and stuff where people are just have a banquet of things. So,
just one thing.
No, you could put multiple things if you want, multiple entrees and whatever. But if that was your last meal, what would you put in it? Are your armpits okay?
Dude, my armpits itch so much right now.
Are you allergic to something? What's going on with it?
Maybe it's the fabric of the shirt. Dude.
Oh, new shirt maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's a Carhartt shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, dude, it's been happening a lot lately.
Itchy pits? Maybe it's it's like allergies. Maybe that's your seasonal allergies, is itchy pits.
And then maybe. And then
I get that, but just with my right nip. Like my right nip will get super chafed and itchy. It's just one nip though. It's weird.
Mine's hard right now.
Hey, nice. It's because we're talking about food, and you're,
That's true.
And you accidentally killing Lex while you're.
Whoa, where are you coming from?
And you accidentally killing Lex while you're climaxing. So, I mean, I understand why.
Jeez. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because, like, sushi is, like, my favorite food of all time. So
Ooh.
I can down, like, some dragon rolls or some
You just get a
fish
boat for
rolls,
your last meal,
just a
imagine?
boat, and then throw sashimi on there, shrimp tempura.
That's not a bad way to go. Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
not mad at
really
that.
I that, but I'm trying to think of, like, okay, so I'm gonna pick something from, like, homemade cooking too, from, like, my mom,
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
which is something that she makes, lasagna style enchiladas,
Ooh,
where she
interesting.
layers, like, the corn tortillas and then, like, the either whatever meat she's using,
Mhm.
usually it's chicken, and then the sauce, the cheese, olives, uh, other stuff, I don't know what else she has in there, but it's so good. She layers it
So
just
it's
like
just like
lasagna and bakes it.
it's like a fat enchilada then, huh?
Oh, it's a fat
It's a
enchilada.
stacked
It's
enchilada. Nice.
that has been,
I'm
like,
not mad
my
at that.
favorite thing that she has cooked since I was growing up,
Oh,
and I
okay.
would like that
Okay. Yeah,
and some
good choice.
sushi.
What about
Something
something?
refreshing, something
Yeah.
hot.
Okay. That's good for the meal. What about something to drink? Like, what if you had
Something to
one
drink.
last drink? It could be multiple drinks if you
Ah,
want, but that's gonna be the last liquid you're gonna consume.
I don't oh,
I
man.
haven't even thought about that. So, I mean, I thought about food all
Okay,
the time, but
I like okay, so I like soda, but I don't drink it
right.
as
Maybe that's why.
often.
That's a good one though. Like,
Yeah, I would, but specifically cherry vanilla Coke.
oh, okay.
That's like that's my
The only
primo
thing with
soda right
vanilla
there.
Coke for me, the only thing is it goes flat so quickly. Have you ever noticed that? Like, I remember back in the day when they used to sell the vanilla Cokes in like the 2 liters. You know, you open it a couple times, you put it back in the fridge, it's like flat like that week. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
interesting. I don't think I've ever bought the 2 liter
Back in the day,
vanilla Coke.
that was
Wow.
way back in the day. That was only a couple times, but
I
yeah,
don't know if you remember, but that Rubio's over at the town center was the
yeah.
only
Oh
place
yeah,
for a long time that had the vanilla Coke
definitely, yeah.
on tap.
But now they have those fucking freestyle machines, so you
Yeah,
get fucking any Coke you want.
anything,
Yeah, but it's kind
anything.
of bullshit though, because they just all they do is put like they just put the soda water and like a syrupy thing. It's like
Yeah,
that's not like
it's
the it's not the same. You know, it's not
mhm.
as good. But I'll take it because you get all the different flavors and stuff. But
Yeah, I want those in my house actually.
dude, that would be so sick. Yeah.
Dude, imagine.
I
I
remember
miss
when I
those
was
days.
working at AMC, they actually showed us how to like get to like the menu where you could like see all like the levels and shit. I was like, oh man, I wish I would have remembered that.
Oh, the
I only worked
levels
there.
of
I
oh.
only worked there for like a week, but
Oh, that's
I would
right.
have.
You
I wish I would have retained that information. That was like the most useful thing they taught us. I was like, oh shit, I could have hacked into the freestyle machines, you know. But
look at the levels, just
yeah,
change it around,
I'd be
change
like,
the Sprite that comes out as iced tea.
I'd be like, hey guys, you guys gotta change that out. But,
Man,
what
oh,
about a
crispy
dessert?
Sprite from McDonald's.
Yes, I was about to say
Crispy Sprite.
McDonald's has the greatest fountain drinks of all time. Maybe a Coke, just a straight up Coke from McDonald's would be mine because
It burns.
somehow
It's nice
somehow
and
the
hot.
Coke from there just tastes way different than any
It's
Coke I've
different.
ever had.
Yeah.
That yeah, the Sprite as well. The Sprite just brings me back to childhood because I always get the number two, which is the two cheeseburger meal, and I would get a
Yeah.
fucking fat Sprite, and that Sprite would be gone by the time I got home. It's just so good. And then
Sucking it down.
but what about a dessert? So we got a drink, we got a main course there. But dessert, do you have like a
I'm
favorite
I'm
dessert that you would like to go out with?
I'm really like I guess I wouldn't say boring or plain when it comes to that because like when I like if I like ice cream, I like vanilla ice cream. I like the vanilla
Vanilla.
flavor. I'm a
Oh,
vanilla, but I'm not. That's not my choice. I'm just saying, like, as far as I guess being plain, I really just love some plain New York cheesecake.
I think that's a good
That
choice. Yeah.
that is like
Keep it
I
simple
don't.
because dessert's already super sweet. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
is. It's
when
super rich
you
as
start
is.
adding more shit, it gets worse. It's just too much. You can't eat a lot of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, cheesecake is always like towing that line of like semi sweet. It's good. Yeah, I love that.
that's my death row meal right
It's too
there.
bad you're lactose though, because when they put you in that electric chair after that cheesecake, you're gonna be shitting yourself. That's gonna be your
Feel
going
like
away
I see
present.
electricity running through my body. um,
Oh
I
man,
I want to add to it
yeah,
my drink. I want to add like
maybe like an
a nice
alcoholic drink as
glass
well.
of oh man, dude, something I haven't really explored too much into like the crazy expensive.
I
Like
think that's something we should get
smooth.
into, Miles. I think we should start like getting way into whiskeys or like scotch or something. You know what I'm saying? I've
I
always wanted to do that.
I've been getting into ryes. Like I just got actually I bought this brand called Whistle Pig, and
Okay, you
it's
told me about that. Yeah.
very good. Like there's a 10-year one that they sell at 10-year aged rye that they sell at Trader Joe's for like $75.
Dude,
And
I haven't been to
it's
the Joe's in a long time,
really
man. I
good.
haven't been there in a couple months. Shit.
It's weird, but like that. And then I recently got a barrel aged 10-year Basil Hayden rye whiskey. I've been into ryes
Okay.
lately, and that it's pretty good. It's not
Mhm.
as good as the Whistle Pig, in my opinion.
Yeah, rye's
And
always been a little hard for me to get into. Like, if I keep drinking them, like I'll get used to it. But like, always that first one, I'm like, whew, it's sharp. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It
it's easier to
stings.
get into like
Yeah,
bourbon or like
yeah,
a
yeah. I'm a bourbon kind of
scotch.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, scotch, even scotch is like, whew, you gotta get used to it after a couple. But
hmm
yeah, I think
shit, shit's
alcoholic drink for sure is the way to go out as well. 'Cause you just get fucking
yeah,
hammered on your last day
yeah.
for sure.
Just be
After
like, "What are you shoving me up
after a
for? I'm never
massive
gonna get
meal,
that."
just sitting back with like a fucking glass of scotch or something with a cigar. I'm like, all
And
right,
fat stogie. I was just about to say
I'm ready.
that one.
Take me right now. I want to be smoking the stogie while I'm getting
Like
electrocuted.
wasn't oh man, what was that movie? Sin City? I
Mm,
forgot. I don't know why I pictured him with a cigar in his mouth when
I
he's
think you
getting
did.
electrocuted,
That
but
was Mickey Rourke, huh? Yeah,
Mickey Rourke, yeah. Dude, I
man.
am so itchy right now. I don't know why. I'm sorry I keep moving around, but I'm so
Final
itchy.
meal for me, man. That's a tough one. I mean, I would probably go with what my favorite like food to eat is. My favorite food is probably Thai food, honestly.
Oh, that's funny,
Um,
dude. I just had Thai food.
Man, Thai food, it has so many different flavors. I just love it so much. It's got the spice, it's got sweet, it's got sour. You know, they got
Mm-hmm.
curries and stuff like that. So I'll have like a nice Thai
That
food
Pats
dish.
EU.
Yeah,
Mm.
I like pad see ew is good, but I think I would go with like a nice pad thai. You know, like a
Yeah, Pad
fancy
Thai is
pad thai.
great. Like
It's
you
got all the
can't go wrong
flavors
with
in
that.
it. It's great. But I have to go something nostalgic as well. Like you said, I'd probably go with like my grandma's like adobo or
Oh,
her kare kare, like something just like from childhood.
yep.
I gotta
My
get something
grandma's
like that.
adobo
You
is
know,
just right up there too.
yeah, I mean
Goddamn.
that's
Oh,
got to
it's
be part of the
tough,
meal
bro.
for sure. Drink, like I said, I'm going Coke. I'm going to Coke from McDonald's. Has to be from McDonald's. If you put it in a bottle and put it in a McDonald's cup, I will know. So don't fucking do that to me. um, and then yeah, some sort of alcoholic beverage. Oh man, but soda's so. God, I love a cherry Coke as well. You know, maybe both. Maybe I'll get maybe a little cherry Coke on the side. That would be nice.
hmm
Um, what about a Mountain Dew?
Shirley Temple.
Oh, Shirley Temple, Arnold Palmer. What about it, dude? I just found out Arnold Palmer had his own cologne, and it was called Swing. I was like, yo, that is
Wow.
the fucking sickest. That is one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life. And
This is bad.
it's just him on the box, like his follow through
Oh, I
swing, and he's
love it,
just
dude.
looking in the distance. Called Swing, dude. So sick. Anyways, maybe a bottle of Swing as well, so I could smell good while I'm getting
He's gonna have a
electrocuted.
freaking album called Swing Time.
Yeah, to drink, I get a
One on
nice.
one.
I don't really know too much about alcoholic beverages, but I like some kind of whiskey or bourbon, that's for sure. And then dessert, I don't know, man. Desserts, I flip flop a lot, but yeah, I would say like a cheesecake as well, maybe, or maybe like some kind of like Filipino dessert, maybe some turon, man.
Oh,
Oh God, man, woo! Some turon would be amazing. Maybe like a Filipino dessert would be nice because that brings me right back to childhood as well. Just a
I'm
fucking
with
fat kid,
you,
just
little
at
boy.
every
Fat
family
boy.
party, just fucking destroying all the
What about
desserts.
the sweet rice and the banana leaf and
Oh
the like
yeah,
a
yeah.
caramel dipping sauce or
Fuck,
whatever?
what is that called? That's no, I forgot what it's called. But
That starts with an S, right?
yeah, it's like some
Sumin Lahi,
so Sumain,
Suman,
Sumain or something like Suman. No, it's
Suman
something like
Lahi,
that, something like that. But yeah,
Liha.
that's good too. That's really good, but not as sweet as it could be. Like I want something to stay on my tongue a little while I'm
It's
out
weird. I
there.
think the ones that because I used to get them from Goldilocks,
Yeah,
before, the
I
ones
think
that are
it's
on
Sumain.
South Gridley before they like
Oh yeah, they changed
changed
the
up.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not the same, but theirs was super like sweet, and it was like,
Oh, okay. Maybe they added, because usually you cook it and then you add the sugar after. Maybe they added the sugar already for you. So, but yeah, man, it's Thai food, man. Thai food's gonna be my favorite all time, man. And
Thai food,
it's
huh, dude?
so good, man. I
Thai
could
food
eat that
it
shit
gets
every
so
fucking day.
spicy.
I love it. That's what I'm saying, man. They got
Spicy.
it's everything that you want in a dish. It's got the sweet, the spicy, the sour,
Mhm.
and
Did you ever
it
go to
mixes so
that
well.
Thai-licious place that's over? It's back in Cerritos. Um,
Thai-licious.
Thai-licious. It's on the other side of where the Red Palace is, the new one, the
Oh no.
newer one.
Mm-mm. I've seen it.
But
Yeah, I remember, but yeah, I didn't. I
that
never went over there.
is so good, dude. That place is so good. Their fried rices,
Really? Okay. I gotta
yeah,
maybe
man.
next time I
Their
get down there.
curries, fantastic.
I used
Their
to just go
pad
to
thai, pad
old school,
see
just
it's
Thai
so
barbecue,
good.
man. Before I even moved to
Oh yeah, dude.
Cerritos, I would go there from Downey to Thai barbecue like all the time as a kid. So
Thai barbecue over by the Cerritos Mall.
yeah, shout out to Thai barbecue. God, what a great
It's
place.
so good.
But Miles, if people would like to hear more of content
Talk
like
about
that,
food all day.
or dude, we could have like 2 hour podcast about food. That would be amazing. But yeah, if people would like to hear more content like that, or they'd like to find our back catalog of our podcast, where could they find us?
Sortainteresting.com. That's where you can find this podcast and the podcast from the past. You can check out the rest of the series as we wrap it up here today. We've got Pain and Gain. We've got the Rundown, and then what was the one we
Scorpion
did
King.
first? Scorpion
Scorpion
King.
King,
That's
man.
right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Scorpion King, we got the whole Mummy series on there.
Sweet
If
deal.
you haven't seen the movies, you can check out HBO Max. They just put them all up on there.
Allow 11,000 views on
Oh,
YouTube.
man,
Mummy
it's
Returns.
crazy, dude. Wish I had 11,000. No, I don't. I'm glad with what I got.
No, yeah, you got to keep that circle tight. You know what I'm saying? You got to tight butthole. Keep
Tight
that,
butthole.
keep that butthole
The
tight.
loosest.
It was so loose.
Sortainteresting.com. That's where you can find us. And then you can also find a link to our Patreon. Or you can just go to patreon.com/sortainteresting. And we could start hosting these side podcasts on there.
I'd love
and
to
you
do more side
can
podcasts, man.
Start giving us money.
I love
If
that
that's
as well.
what it comes
you know.
down to. That's what it comes down to. We're starving. We're hungry. And I haven't seen my friend in a long time.
Yeah, man. What the fuck? Let's get down there and let's
I need money to make it there.
give me
even though
some
I
gas
just went
money.
there
Yeah.
to get a haircut. So
Hey,
yeah,
nobody knows
we
that though.
don't talk about that.
Miles, let's get into some production details here for Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Release date December 20th, 2017, not that long ago. Director Jake Kasdan, known for Orange County, also starring Jack Black. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Had no idea he did
great
that
movie,
one.
dude. That's funny.
Yeah, and then he also did Bad Teacher, which was okay, wasn't good, but yeah, his other movies are pretty funny.
Who was in Bad Teacher? Cameron?
That was Cameron. Yeah, Cameron was in Bad Teacher. And that might have been like one of her last like starring roles. She hasn't been in Hollywood in a long time.
She doesn't really look that great.
No, yeah. Oh my God, she looks terrible.
You know who else I see too that hasn't really like aged in as well as I thought she would. I'm probably in the minority here, but Jennifer Aniston.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
when I've seen her in a commercial lately or recently for like
maybe that's for the best. I think
character.
it's better that she doesn't do all the work and stuff to her face. I'd rather her just it's better if you age naturally.
That's what it is, though.
You think she's gotten work done? Like maybe like
there's something around the eyes.
Yeah, what's that shit where you get like the facelift and all that? Maybe she got that.
Yeah, facelift. You get Botox injections right here to get rid of like the crow's feet and everything.
Yeah,
but it kind of like freezes. So
her eyes are a little smaller, right?
It doesn't move naturally anymore. You know. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Her face is a little like puffier. Like that's what I feel like. But maybe that's just
I could. Yep.
So
age, but young. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
Friends.
Friends era. Friends era, Jen Aniston, and Friends era, Courtney Cox.
That was a different.
Oh my goodness, my goodness.
Wow.
Writer Chris McKenna, Myles. It's no wonder why this movie, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, was good writing wise, because he did Spider-Man: Homecoming, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and he's writing, or he already wrote, the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man: No Way Home. So
no way.
Very excited for that. Budget $90 million. box office 962 million. When I first saw that, I was like, that's pretty high. Let me go do some more research on this. And it puts it at number 5 highest grossing movie of the year. And it put it ahead of Spider-Man Homecoming, which is really insane.
Wow.
It's insane to me that just
funny?
a normal movie beat an MCU movie at the box office.
Yeah,
That year. That's
and
crazy.
I mean, I didn't even make that connection with the writer.
Yeah,
But
he wrote both of them. I mean, that guy was doing
yeah,
work that year. Holy
it
shit.
was, dude. This movie was originally cast with Tom Holland
Oh, as
hmm
who? Like
as
the main guy? Or?
Jonas's character, but there was as a seaplane, Nick
Oh,
Jonas'
Nick
character,
Jonas. Interesting. Yeah, I
and
could totally see
there
that.
was
Yeah.
a scheduling conflict because
Mm-hmm.
of Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Okay.
and so he had to drop out, and they ended up recasting, uh, what's his face, Nicholas Jonas,
Yeah, Nick Jonas. Yeah.
aka Mr. Chopra.
That's right. Yeah. God,
Chopra.
what a great looking man Nick Jonas is, by the way.
He
Jesus.
is.
I haven't
He is.
really
And what a
I
great
never
wife.
yeah, I'm oh yeah, she's amazing as well. Like I haven't really looked at his face. Like I never watched Disney Channel when he was on there. I never seen his music videos. So when I saw him, I was like, God, he's a strikingly good looking man. Jesus Christ. Wow.
He had that one song that's like such a big hit. Like
He had a couple. He had that
I can't
he had the Jealous song. He had
Yeah.
that I'm just a sucker for you. That Sucker song's great, man. I love that song. We go together. Oh man.
Karaoke hour coming to Patreon.
That would be
Just gotta
great. Yeah.
subscribe.
Runtime 1 hour 59 minutes, which honestly it just flew the fuck by. Just
It did.
every moment of this movie is just like nonstop action, so it was great. But Myles, what were your initial thoughts of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle before we get into a rundown here?
I've seen bits and pieces of this movie.
That's right. This is your first time watching it,
This
right?
is my first time
Yeah.
watching it through, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. I thought it was going to be a little cheesy, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
trying to
Absolutely.
recreate a classic with obviously the classic being with Robin Williams back in 1990.
It was like 98 or something, maybe more, maybe
Somewhere.
95 actually. Yeah, it might be earlier. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was mid 90s, I want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
And that movie blew my mind. Like
I love
loved
that movie. So good.
there was something so like terrifying. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's just like I want that to happen, but I don't want to get run over by a rhino.
It's such a crazy concept. A board game
is.
coming to life.
Coming
What
to
a
life.
what a fucking concept. It's great, man. Great story.
Yeah, right. It
Yeah.
seems like something that has been done before already, and it has obviously with this particular movie. But the way
Zathura.
they kind of
Remember Zathura? Where it was like
Yeah,
the
dude,
space
actually,
version of Jumanji.
that
Not
was
bad. It was not bad
it wasn't
either.
that bad either. Yeah, yeah.
John
I
Favreau
definitely
movie as
think.
well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, John Favreau directed that one.
Man,
Yeah.
you learn something new about that
Yeah.
guy every day. I feel like, but this movie really surprised me. I'll say
I knew you would.
how,
I knew you would like it. Yeah.
how well it was. Yeah, there was good choreography. There was good casting. There was it wasn't like over the top with some of these jokes, but it was the acting that really came in. Like Jack Black playing a teenage girl
Hands
is
down best part of the
probably
movie.
the best role in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. It's funny. I love Jack Black. A lot of people can't stand him because they feel like he's a little much. But I mean, that's
That's
who he
his
is.
charm. Yeah.
That's his charm. Exactly. He's great. Dwayne, he did a great job. I want to say he did a good job. Not a great job.
Mhm.
He did a good job. Kevin Hart was. This was when Kevin Hart was pretty like up there, right? He was,
Yeah, this was like pretty. Yeah, this was like peak Kevin Hart.
This was like
Definitely.
stadium selling
Yeah.
out.
Oh
Kevin
my
Hart.
god. Yeah. Yeah.
And I can see it. He was pretty funny. But Karen, damn,
She is a
I
smoke
gotta
show.
say,
My goodness.
Nebula.
Karen. Oof.
Nebula. Wow. No, I was really surprised by how well I liked this movie.
It's good. Yeah, I'm glad you liked
And
it.
we'll let you. I'll let you know how surprised I was when it comes to the ratings.
But yeah, man, I thought this movie was going to be a disaster when I first saw the trailers. I was like, why? Why do we need a Jumanji remake? First of all, Jumanji, excellent movie, almost a perfect movie. We don't need a remake, especially after Robin Williams' death. It's like, let's just leave that
It's
in
like
the
almost a
past.
slap in the face.
Yeah,
It's
no,
almost like how
yeah.
it's like the same thought process I had when Aladdin came out
Disrespectful.
too.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
too. Yeah, disrespectful, right? Don't need to do it anymore. But I remember being very pleasantly surprised the first time watching this. And then that connection to the original Jumanji with the Alan Parrish little cameo character. Not, it wasn't a cameo, but the mention of his name got me so
yeah,
fucking hyped
at
when
the
I first saw
treehouse.
it. Yeah, I was like, oh man, that was so cool. Little homage to that was Alan Parrish, of course, was Robin Williams' character in the original. So I think that was a little homage to him. That was
Yeah,
cool. Um, and then the
tugging at the heartstrings a little bit. You
yeah,
know,
just a
trying to get a
little,
little
right?
sentimental value.
And then just the modernization of turning the classic Jumanji game board into an actual video game. I thought that was just a genius way
It was.
for kids these days to better connect to the story and to its legacy, and also bringing the classic drum beating
Mhm.
from the old movie. It's just, oh my god, it was so good too.
Every time I hear that, I think of every time I heard the drums, I thought of from the Hot Chick, right? Where, when
I
Adam
don't
Sandler's
remember
character is
that one.
banging the drums.
Oh
He
yeah,
said, "We
okay.
stop banging the damn drums." He said, "Oh,
That was Rob
I didn't
Schneider,
know
right?
anybody could hear that."
Yeah, and then the way they get sucked into the game, also like very old school, the way they that happened in the original movie. Um, and then I think they absolutely nailed incorporating the those video game ideologies into the storyline with the concept of like the
NPCs.
the limited number of lives, the way the characters respawn like from the sky and they drop down. You
Hmm.
could hear like a little video game noise. That was always cool. Um, and then each character having their own special abilities and skills and how they need like each other to beat the game. And I was like, oh man, that's really clever because they're
Uh-huh.
unable to do the task alone, and they need each other for their own special skills. And it's almost like a D&D campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like they got to work together and make it to the end of the game.
Yeah,
Um,
I.
yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because Lex just started a D&D
She
campaign with
did.
one of her
Oh
friends.
man,
Yeah,
I've been wanting to do it for so long, dude.
I
Oh
told her
my
that
god,
too. There's
we
the
should do
whole
it, dude. We should fucking do it.
there's a website called like Star Wars 5e,
Ooh, oh, it's a Star
and
Wars themed
they
one
it's a yeah, it's
that
a
they're
Star
doing.
Wars themed
Okay.
D&D.
Yeah, I mean they have
Yeah,
like books and stuff on Amazon for like beginners and shit. So I would definitely like to do that. We should start that soon. That would be
we
cool.
should. We really
Um,
should.
but best part of the movie, hands down, is the cast. Like you said, just going from best to worst here. We got Karen Gillan, which by no means is she a bad actor or anything. Just her character was a little one-dimensional for me. Like I wish they would have maybe gone deeper into that. But first of all, she is smoking fucking hot. Karen Gillan, my
She
god,
is.
she is smoking hot.
The only thing that would have made it hotter is if she had her accent.
That's true. Yeah, why they give her an American accent? They should have switched it up. It's like
Yeah,
it's not like she's playing her normal self, you know. Like
exactly, right?
you could have
And
just
they could have like added that to like jokes. Oh, how am I talking like this or whatever?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I
She
mean?
could have been like a spy or
Nice.
something from like MI6 or something. You know, that would have been super sick.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Kevin Hart, who is just basically like never in character anymore. He's just he's just himself in every movie he's in. Basically, I've never seen him play anything other than himself. But yeah, he's great in this movie since he's able to bounce off like the comedy lines with other people. So,
Him
uh,
and The Rock also they do great. They have great chemistry.
oh yeah, I think this was the start of their movie career together because they had like a couple other movies where they were.
Yeah, the CIA
Yeah, the CIA
movie.
one, yeah, and
Right,
then
right.
he was in Hobbs and Shaw as well for like a quick cameo. So yeah,
That's right.
I think they know they struck gold with those two together.
Hmm.
Um, and then sorry, where am I at here? And then we got The Rock, who's just he found that sweet spot in his acting career with this movie, where it was a good balance of being funny and being a badass action star at the same time. And it
Hmm.
just works so well with the storyline, and it's kind of just defined the rest of his roles that he's been taking. You know, he's always got a little bit of comedy in there because we know he's not that great of a serious actor. So he's found that sweet spot in his career. And then for the best part of this movie, of course, Jack Black having to act like a 16-year-old girl. It's just genius writing. And Jack Black just nailed this movie so well. Like almost every line coming out of his mouth gave me like an audible chuckle every time.
Hmm.
Just the way he talks, it's so good.
It's so good.
And the fact that he has to flirt with Joe Jonas at some point of this movie was just the cherry on top for that. I was like, bravo,
You have to
bravo.
kiss him. Yeah.
Yeah, they give him mouth to mouth and everything, and he gets a boner eventually. So good, man. So fucking good. But yeah, long story short,
It's
I love this movie, man. It's a heartwarming, feel good movie, and it's like one of those. It would be probably my go to if I was like sick in bed all day and needed to pick me up and something to cheer me up. I definitely put this movie on. And I'm glad we're actually ending Rock and
man.
Reviews with this underrated gem. It's one of the Rock's most underrated movies, I think. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, Miles, let's go ahead and get into a rundown here. The movie opens up in the year 1996 on a beach when we see a man jogging has uncovered a Jumanji game board half buried in the sand. Just something small and simple here, but I love how they kept that iconic Jumanji game board design. I'm glad they didn't change it up to like something modern, like some
Yeah.
fucking like Settlers of Catan kind of shit. But yeah, they kept that game board design, and it looks so cool aesthetically. I love that wood
The
design.
wooden where it
Yeah,
opens from the middle.
it's got
And
like the
yeah.
Jumanji thing etched on the cover with the
Yeah.
pictures. I would love to have like something like that, like on my coffee table one day, like as a decoration. That would be so sick.
Sure, Etsy's got something
That's what I was
like
about to
that,
say. It's like a total Etsy thing, right?
for like $500.
Yeah. And then the man brings the Jumanji game board home to show his son. He opens up the game, and it is indeed the classic board from the Robin Williams movie. But his son thinks the game boards are lame now and decides to play a video game, which I think was like PS1 back in '96 or whatever. And in the middle of the night, while the kid is sleeping, the board comes to life, and we hear the classic Jumanji drum beats, and it creates a game cartridge of itself inside the game board. And then the kid puts the game inside his Atari, and all we see is a green glow in his bedroom. And then we cut to present day. We are introduced to our main antagonist, Spencer, played by Alex Wolff, who was he was also in one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Hereditary. If anybody's seen that, Hereditary, fucking fantastic, and he's amazing in it as well. That came out after this movie, actually. Yeah, Hereditary, very creepy movie. We see Spencer playing Street Fighter when he gets a text from Fridge asking if he has it. Then Spencer has to finish up a history paper, and his mom comes busting into the room. And man, his mom is fucking smoking hot. Oh my god! I was like, Jesus, where is she for the rest of the movie? God damn. And then we cut to another one of our protagonists, Fridge, who we learn is struggling with his grades and is in danger of being cut from the football team. And how do we know he's on the football team? I'm glad you asked, Miles. Well, this fucking man, he is.
I thought it was Dr. Dre or the guy.
I do it. That's what he looks exactly like him, right? It's not because he's black. Don't get us wrong. And then
he listens to black music.
first of all, this goddamn man, he looks like he's supposed to be in high school, but he looks like a fucking senior in college about to enter the NFL draft. But he's wearing his football jersey, of course, with jeans, and he has a necklace with his number on it, Myles.
And he's one strap in it.
Yeah, one strap in it, of course, because the cool kids don't wear the double straps anymore. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, we get it. You play football. All right. I got it. Jesus. And then we cut to another one of our protagonists, Bethany, who is, I will say this, she's not ugly, okay? Because, I mean, she's a high schooler in this, so I will just leave it at that. But I'll just say she's not ugly. And then we see her just slutting it up. She's taking pictures with like a selfie stick and posting them on
just
Instagram.
Out of bed, straight up. Hashtag no filter.
No filter, and then like hashtag I love my life. And then we see Spencer meet up with Fridge in front of a creepy house, and he hands over the paper he wrote for Fridge. Then Spencer asks Fridge if he'd like to hang out this weekend, but Fridge gets distracted by a little mamacita who just rolls up in her little SUV. Then we learn that Fridge and Spencer were once best friends as kids. And outside the creepy house, Spencer is approached by Mr. Vreek, the old man who lives there, and Spencer basically just runs away from him. And then we cut to the school now. Yeah.
Who's that old man? That guy's.
I don't know.
Isn't he from like
I've seen him in a lot of things, but I don't recall like anything like specific.
It was like a movie.
I remember he was like a president or something, or like a vice president.
Anyways,
I think he was in. Oh no, I think that was in West Wing. But anyways, we cut to the school now, and Bethany is FaceTiming her friend during a quiz, and is given detention by the fucking boss lady from Workaholics. If you noticed that. That was, the boss from Workaholics, and immediately the fucking quote from Workaholics comes up where Blake is asking the boss, he's like, "How do you say I don't think so in Chinese?" And then fucking Adam is like, something like that.
Oh my god.
Sing, sing. Then in gym class, now the PE teacher tells the students to partner up to play catch. We are introduced to our final member of the team, Martha, who was kind of antisocial, nerdy kind of
that
character.
chick in there too, the PE teacher.
Yeah, she's in a lot of
coach.
things too.
She's from Dodgeball. That's Fran.
Oh my god.
Lady
in red. Oh, dude, imagine she was like, all right, everybody, we're playing dodgeball. Damn. They fucking, what a missed opportunity. What the
awesome.
fuck? God damn it.
Missy Pyle.
She was also in that Willy Wonka movie that Johnny Depp won. She was like the mom of
right.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
You're turning violet.
Yeah, and then Martha, who's kind of like an antisocial, nerdy kind of character. She doesn't want to partner up with anybody, so she ends up getting detention as well. And then Spencer gets called into the principal's office with Fridge, and Fridge's history teacher busts him for cheating on Fridge's paper. And both of them get detention, and Fridge is kicked off the football team. Fun fact, I have also gotten caught like that one time. Not for a paper, but I remember me and Jimmy copied off of Jeremy's homework one time. So all three of us got in trouble. But I fucked up. I was like, oh yeah, they copied off of me. Like, I did all the work, but they copied off of me. So I ended up getting... I got 50% credit. They got 0% credit.
Oh, that backfired.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Oops, sorry guys, but it's all right. We're all friends. Friends love each other.
Yeah, are we? Because I don't know where the hell Jeremy's at.
Yeah, I don't know. Just kidding. I don't know where Jeremy's at, but you know. Then the principal approaches everyone in detention and tells them they should be thinking about who they are in this moment in time and who they want to be. You get one life. You decide how you want to spend it. The principal takes them to a storage room and tells them they need to clean out the place. Then Spencer and Martha kind of have a little spark of a moment together when Fridge finds an old game console in a donation box with the Jumanji cartridge in it and decides to hook it up. And then they boot up the game, and I absolutely love how they brought back the old school slogan for the game from the original movie. The game reads, "A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind." And then they get the title screen for the game, "Welcome to Jumanji." And then the screen pops up, and we see the character of Jefferson Seaplane McDonough, who is unavailable. So Fridge picks the character of Franklin Mouse Finbar, a zoology expert. Then Spencer chooses the character Dr. Smolder Bravestone, a fucking sick ass name, dude. I love that name. Who is an archaeologist explorer, which is what I want to be when I grow up. I would love to be an archaeologist explorer. And then Bethany gets into the game and picks Professor Shelley Oberon, cartography curvy genius. Martha decides to join in too, and she chooses Ruby Roundhouse, killer of men. And they start the game, and the drums start to beat, and the game sparks, and all of our students are sucked into the game the old school way, like the kid did in the very first movie.
Double-handed, no.
And then we cut to a man running through the jungle, and we are introduced to Dr. Smolder Bravestone, played by The Rock.
I was gonna spit all my water up right now.
last time I get to play that there. And then right away we see his outfit, Myles, and it is so fucking sick. I cannot wait to go on a safari and wear this outfit. He's got like the like a kind of like that beige brown shirt, and like the buttons are like all the way down here, and the sleeves are rolled up, and then he's got the fucking fingerless gloves, what I totally forgot. And then the thing that really put the whole outfit together though was like the Han Solo looking belt, where he has like the hanging thing on the side, but instead of a gun though, it's like a big ass knife, which is super cool. And Spencer is now self-aware in the Rock's body and starts to take inventory and notices the fucking pair of legs coming out of his shoulders, and he flexes his biceps and he's like, whoa. And then also from now on, I'm gonna be calling him Rock and not Spencer, because fucking Spencer could suck on my fucking nuts. And this is
Spencer.
Is
such a weak name.
Yeah, right. It's such a bust ass name. And then this is
started
Rock and
Spencer.
Reviews, Myles. Okay, this is not Spencer and Spews. Okay, this is Rock
Spencer
and
and
Reviews,
Spews.
baby. Then all of a
Spencer
sudden,
and Spunk.
all of a sudden, two other characters come flying in. Fridge, who is in Kevin Hart's body, and Martha, who is in Karen Gillan's body. And then Bethany, who is in Jack Black's body, which is the best part of this whole movie here. And then Martha looks down at her arm, and we see that she and everybody else has 3 lines, which plays an important part throughout the movie. And we'll get into that later. And The Rock starts complaining about not having his Claritin, which is super funny. It's like, I'm allergic to everything out here. And then Kevin Hart's like, oh, you have allergies? You have allergies, Spencer? Well, I'm missing the 2 top feet of my body, Spencer. Then Bethany starts telling him maybe they're all in a coma, like a shared coma, when a hippo sneaks up from behind him and eats him up. Destroys him. If I was a kid watching this movie, I'd be like, what the fuck are we watching here, guys? Then Kevin Hart turns to The Rock and is like, you better go in there and go save her. And The Rock's like, no, you go in there. And then Kevin Hart's like, I'm not getting in there. I got a backpack on. You don't get in water with a backpack. Everybody knows that. Then we hear a little video game sound in the air, and we see Bethany respawn and drop down from the sky. And then another hippo starts to chase after our crew when they are picked up by an NPC named Nigel Billingsley, played by one of my favorite comedic actors, Rhys Darby. Fucking love him, dude. He's actually, I'm gonna credit Rhys Darby for being the creator of the word brosif. Because I remember back in the day, he was in a movie called Yes Man with Jim Carrey. And I remember he gave him like a handshake, and he's like, hey, sounds good, brosif. And then he's like, you see what I did there? I combined brother and Joseph. Brosif. And I was like, oh, fuck. That was like way back in the day. I never heard Brosif before that. I was like, oh, that is hilarious. So, brother and Joseph. Brosif. I just love his accent.
He was also in a Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He played their, like, agent. A shitty one, but he's so good in there.
Right, yeah, that's his like comedy crew, that whole like Taika Waititi kind of crew. Yeah, and he's always in his movies.
Clement.
Yeah. Such a God, I love that New Zealand kind of comedy. It's so good.
Me too.
Then Nigel gives us some background on our characters and their skills and tells them that Jumanji is in grave danger and they need their help to lift the curse. The Rock starts to read a letter, and they are literally put into a cutscene, which is such a cool concept. We see Nigel working with Professor Russell Van Pelt, played by Bobby Cannavale, whose hair is just fucking fantastic in this. It's all messed up, but man, he's got a great head of hair on him. Also, side note here, the character of Van Pelt is an old character from the original Jumanji movie. They kind of modernized him for this movie, but he was the guy who was hunting Robin Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
shit.
But the original intro for the Van Pelt character in the original movie was so fucking cool because it's Robin Williams' turn in the game, so he rolls the dice, and then the thing in the middle comes up, and he starts to read it, and he says, "A hunter from the darkest wild." And right when he says that, he stands up because he knows exactly who it is. And then what's her name? Bonnie Hunt's like, well, what is it? And she's like, it's Van Pelt. And then all of a sudden he fucking comes out and then he starts shooting at Robin Williams. I'm like, dude, what a fucking intro that was. Imagine playing the game and there's a fucking guy hunting you the whole time. You gotta finish the game. I mean, it's a great concept.
So scary.
And then
that's so dope.
Yeah, he was such a cool character in the original movie. And then in the cutscene, we see Van Pelt find the jewel and is consumed by a dark power, being able to control all the creatures of Jumanji, and the land was cursed. We see Nigel take the jewel from Van Pelt in the middle of the night, and we cut to present day. And then Nigel just like throws the jewel to the Rock, and he's like, "All right, there you go. You need to place the jewel back in the Jaguar's eye to lift the curse." And then he tells them a phrase he keeps repeating over and over again until they leave. Return the jewel and lift the curse. If you wish to leave the game, you must save Jumanji and call out its name. And then before Nigel leaves, he hands the Rock a map and tells them they must find the missing piece. And then the Rock tells the group they have to finish the game and save Jumanji if they want to get back home. And then he turns around and the most funniest shit, he turns his back and he kind of looks out into the distance and they cut to his face and he's like, don't cry.
They're all saying, man, look at him.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like, now that's a man.
He's like, he's getting a little boner in his pants, Jack Black. He's like, that is a man.
Don't cry.
I fucking love that, man. The Rock is so good in being this like dual character where he's, that badass and then being the kid at the same time. And then the gang, he said, "Don't cry, don't cry." Then the gang are on their way now, and the Rock starts thinking about this like an actual video game, and starts talking about levels and how the levels are starting to get harder as the game moves along. And then he opens up the map and figures out that they have to find the missing piece of the map, but they have a problem. All they can see is a blank piece of paper, but Bethany says she can see the map on the paper. And we learned that one of Professor Oberon's skills is cartography, so only Bethany's able to see the map. And the whole concept is so fucking cool. I love that. It's just like a video game where every character has their own skill set, and they only that they can do, and it's so good. And then the Rock touches his pec, that fucking massive pec of his.
Yeah.
And then a character attribute screen pops up, and we see his strengths, which are fearless, climbing, speed, boomerang, and smoldering intensity. And as he says that, the Rock gives us a smoldering look in the distance, which becomes a recurring bit in the movie. And it's great because it's the Rock, of course, and he looks.
So I got a little tidbit on that.
Yeah.
He actually, Dwayne, the Rock Johnson. Yeah.
La Roca. Yeah.
He pitched the name Smolder to Jake Kasdan via text. He said, "What if his name was Smolder, but he had this unique ability to just smolder?" And he's like, "I love it."
Of course, The Rock would always. He would bring that up because he just wants to do that. Then Martha brings up her menu, and her strengths are fighting, and her weakness is venom, which, to be fair, is everybody's weakness. Like,
yeah,
if anybody gets bit by a venomous snake, you're dead. Then Bethany brings up her menu. And her strengths are cartography, archaeology, and paleontology, and her weakness is endurance. Then Kevin Hart brings up his, and his strengths are zoology and weapons valet. And his weakness is cake, speed, and strength. And to be fair again, there is no takedown defense against cake, Myles. I've always said that. I love me some fucking cake, and it is hands down the only reason why I love going to weddings. I mean... if I go to your wedding and the cake is bad, you're getting a divorce. Okay, I'm sorry. The marriage will not work out. I promise you. If the cake is bad, it's not gonna work out. Because if you can't even pay attention to the little things like your wedding cake, it's over. And then
Kevin Hart's little getup. His he had a vest.
Oh, I like that vest. Yeah.
There was a little
patches,
patch on the bottom. Yeah. That had a cake with a line through it.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah. I would love to have that on my jacket. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Right?
That's awesome. Then Bethany takes a look at the map and it begins to change, and they have their new waypoints, the Mighty Roar and the Deep. Then they get attacked by some of Van Pelt's soldiers on motorcycles, and they have to dive off a cliff to escape. And then they show them running, and Jack Black running like a girl was amazing. He's like this while he's running. And then The Rock running like he's fucking Captain America over here. And then The Rock throws a big ass boomerang and takes a group of them out. And then they get to the river, and Martha has been hit by a bullet, and she dies and respawns, and they figure out how the life system works. And if they die in Jumanji, you die in the real world, just like the Matrix. And then cut to Van Pelt's camp, and we can see that Van Pelt is very like emo typish. He's got bugs and shit crawling all over him. That
was cool.
Yeah, and he's got like cool eyeliner on, and he looks like a cool bad guy and shit. He's got like one like eye that's fucked up.
The cataracts.
Yeah, the cataract. Damn, what a callback. The cataracts. I need to turn this fan. This is so fucking hot. I'm heating up here. And then the gang sets off to the village of Bazaar, and we get a great little character moment here with Bethany and Martha, and they kind of clear the air between the two, where Bethany's like, well, why do you hate me so much? And then Martha's like, I don't hate you. Like, I think you're just kind of full of yourself. And then, Bethany's like, okay, maybe you're right, but maybe you should be like less, standoffish, and maybe you can let people into your life. And then they end up actually becoming friends after this, and Bethany ends the conversation with telling Martha that she is actually a hottie and she needs to own it. And then, Martha's got a little self-confidence after that. Then Kevin and Rock get into an argument with some old beef between them as well. And then they bring up like their old friendship as kids, and Kevin at some point pushes the Rock off the cliff, costing him a life. And then The Rock saves Kevin from falling down and tells him, we can't waste any more lives. And with a smolder, he says, we have to do this together. Fucking Jack Black, killing
Everybody
it.
acknowledges that too.
Jack Black just killing it as 60-year-old girl again. He's like, wow, can you say that again? Like with the smoldering and everything, because that shit was sexy as fuck. And then
He's like, I'm wet as fuck.
and then at the city of Bazaar, they meet another NPC and get some food. And then Kevin eats a piece of cake and it blows him up, costing him one of his lives.
That shit was so funny, dude.
I just love the way he fucking comes back to, just like comes like crashing through the fucking roof of the place. And then at the city of Bazaar, no, he's like, he gets the cake. He's like, we're fine. I'm like, I'm not breaking out. I'm still black. Like, we're fine. Yeah. I'm good. And then he blows up. Yeah. And then at the city of Bazaar, they meet another NPC. It was like they meet a child NPC. And then that child leads them to the missing piece and another clue. What you need is in the basket. One false move, you're in a casket. Trust one another and never blink. The missing piece is not what you think. Then Rock opens up the basket hesitantly, and we see there's a fucking Kobe Bryant inside. A goddamn Black Mamba, baby. Rest in peace. Then he covers it back up. And then Bethany comes up with the idea that it's a staring contest and decides to volunteer because she's amazing at it. And the snake pops out of the basket, but the Rock catches it midair before it bites Martha. And then Kevin Hart uses his zoology skills and says that we have to defang it, and snaps the fang off the snake, which is really cruel. Like, might as well just kill that snake because he can't do anything anymore. Yeah. Then inside the basket, Jack Black uncovers a little statue of an envelope and reads a message that says, "When you see me, begin to climb." Then as the gang is walking through the village, Van Pelt soldiers show up. And The Rock just does what he fucking does best, baby. He just fucks these dudes up. He even gives one of these dudes the rock bottom at one point. I'm like, let's fucking go, man. I just love how The Rock hasn't wrestled in years. He doesn't even go by the name The Rock anymore. He goes by Dwayne Johnson and everything. But the writers, they still have him do the rock bottom in like almost every movie. And I hope they never stop that because it's so good.
I mean, that's his transition in. You can't ever forget where you came from.
I like that he's like accepting of it too, because he's The Rock. He could easily be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm the star. I could say what I want.
When has he ever said no?
That's true.
This man does so much.
What I hope is he goes to the writers. He's like, you put the rock bottom in here, okay? I don't care what you do. Include the rock bottom somewhere. I hope that's what he does, but one could dream. They get cornered by Van Pelt when all of a sudden smoke grenades start popping off. They are rescued by Alex, aka Jefferson Seaplane McDonough, played by Nick fucking Jonas. Nick Jonas, I mean, I was super surprised when I first watched this. I did not know Nick Jonas was in this. Did you know that Nick Jonas was in this movie before you watched it? Did it surprise you?
I think I did, but I had forgotten. But yeah, I was surprised because I remember I remember coming back and like, oh yeah, that's right, he is in this movie.
Okay, so you heard about it somewhere, okay.
Yeah, and then I was, as I was doing my research, I saw that he was actually cast later as Tom Holland. Right. He was recast, yeah.
That would have been a perfect role for Tom Holland. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I could see him playing that too, just as much.
Then Alex takes the crew to his camp and makes everyone some margaritas, and we learn that one of Alex's weakness is mosquitoes. Then fucking Jack Black is just thirsty as fuck for Alex, by the way, and it is hilarious. Then Kevin Hart comes across a piece of bamboo that has etched in it, "Alan Parrish was here," who of course was Robin Williams' character in the original. And then, Alan Parrish being the one who built the camp is such a great homage to the original movie. And it just leaves the door open, too, for, everything being kind of in the same universe, I hope, maybe at some point. And then Alex tells the gang he's been in the game for a few months now, but isn't exactly sure. And he says he's been unable to make it to the next level of the game by himself, and he's down to his last life. They get to the transportation shed to get a vehicle to get to the Jaguar statue. And they come up with a plan for Karen to distract the guards.
Flirt.
Man, then Jack Black has to teach Karen how to flirt and be sexy, and it's fucking hilarious. Where Jack Black's like,
funny,
"Go ahead, play with your hair. Go ahead, play with it." Like, but it's Jack Black doing it. He has like barely any hair on his head.
So Jack Black, he said he had a lot of fun as Bethany teaching Karen Gillan's character to flirt. He said, "I was teaching her how to flirt and how to work it runway style. It was like a living organism kind of scene where some of it was on the page, but a lot of it was just happening in real time.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
totally see that from Jack Black. It's so organic. Yeah, then eventually she gets to the guards, and then that fucking one of my favorite songs ever, that "Ooh baby I love you." God, what a
Who
great
sings that?
song.
UB40?
No, it's like
No.
Big Mountain something. It's like a weird name, but yeah, it sounds like UB40, but it's not.
A little bit, yeah.
And then she starts talking
All
in
that red stripe music.
yeah. She starts talking in that Nebula voice that I low-key hate. She's like, "Hey guys, hey boys."
Mhm.
God,
Yeah,
that
then the
fucking
voice is kind of just like,
thanks, Dad.
too much.
Thanks, that us. And then Karen just ends up dance fighting them and beats their asses. And then
What is dance fighting, like capoeira?
that's what I was thinking, right? That's more of like a capoeira kind of situation, but she wasn't doing any of that. She was just straight up fighting their asses.
That's what a capoeira is.
That Eddie Gordo shit from fucking Tekken, you know what I'm saying, dog? Then Alex finds out he's been in the game for 20 years, because like The Rock's like, well, actually, you've been in the game, you haven't been here for a month. And then Kevin Hart's
saying shit like,
oh yeah,
getting jiggy with it.
I would get jig with her. She's fly or whatever. And then Kevin Hart's like, you've been in the game for 20 years, man. And then The Rock's like, well, I wouldn't have said it like that, Jesus. And then Kevin Hart's like, man, Cindy Crawford's like 50 years old now, bro. I'm sorry. And then The Rock's like, well, she's still fly, I think. And then Kevin Hart's like, nah, not really. Which I don't know, man. I think she still is, but that's just me. And then the gang. The gang get a helicopter to escape. And Alex is the pilot now. And then the whole action scene with the helicopter takes place in the canyon. Then The Rock has to fix like the thing that goes up and down on the helicopter. And then Kevin Hart accidentally drops the jewel in the canyon with the rhinos. So what does The Rock do? He sacrifices one of Kevin's lives.
Where you just, oops.
Yeah, he's just yeah, I dropped the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped the jewel. I thought we were gonna die.
He's like, all right, we can just go back and get it, no problem. And The Rock, but it's being surrounded by rhinos, so The Rock drops Kevin out of the helicopter to distract the rhinos, and then sacrifices one of his lives because he gets fucking trampled to death. It's fucking brutal. Jesus.
Oh man, he gets straight up
Mufasa, dude.
Mufasa.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Simba, but no.
No, Mufasa. And then The Rock grabs the jewel, and then The Rock has to tell Nick Jonas to finesse the helicopter midair to catch Kevin Hart, which was fucking sick. It turns like all the way sideways. Kevin Hart drops through the thing, and The Rock catches him. Yeah, he does the fucking Vin Diesel forearm shit. The gang, Lan and Nick Jonas gets bit by a mosquito and he starts to die. Then Jack Black has to give him fucking mouth-to-mouth CPR. But while he's doing that, one of Jack Black's lives starts to go away, and then it transfers over to Nick Jonas.
I like that part because this is his first time he's like made it that far. And you see his weakness is mosquitoes, and then you just hear, and
he's just like, oh man,
oh fuck, basically.
And he looks good in this, by the way. He takes off his jacket. He's got like this like button up with a sleeve rolled up too. God, he looks great. Then Alex, after finding out that Bethany gave one of her lives to save Alex, Alex gives Jack Black a big hug, and then Jack Black gets a chubby after that, gets a boner for the first time. Bethany is
these things are weird.
This thing is weird. Oh, we also missed the part where Jack Black has to pee for the first time. And Bethany's like, how do I do this? Like, you got like a little handle thing with it and everything.
Oh, this is awesome.
Kevin Hart's like, I'm glad one thing carried over from my previous life. And then Jack Black like looks over. Like Kevin Hart's like, hey man.
And then The Rock's just standing there. He's just like, yeah, you don't.
Yeah, it's a thing. You're not supposed to. And be sure to aim, okay? Like he kept saying that over and over. You got to aim.
So you would aim.
And then Rock and Martha confess they are into each other at some point in this. And then Martha's like, I like nerds. I don't like big muscular guys. And The Rock's like, I'm totally a nerd. I'm a huge nerd. And then this little love story with The Rock and Karen is just a little strange. It's like
forced.
It was a little like Vanessa Kirby and The Rock and Hobbs and Shaw, where it was like that age difference is just too much for me. Like, I wish if they're gonna do that, I wish like maybe Karen's character would have been like an older kind of lady. Not, she looks like she's like 19. I'm sure she's way older than that, but Karen's a young looking person. So
I guess the moral of the story is what's on the inside.
I mean, we could tell that to the court, but
age is just a number.
I stay the same age. They stay. I keep getting older. They stay the same age. Jesus. Then they find the Jaguar, but the path lit up for them is a trap. And then The Rock ends up losing one of his lives when he's attacked by the Jaguars. Then The Rock talks to Fridge and he starts freaking out. He's like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" He's like, "I can't do this. I'm not brave in real life." And then we actually get a deep conversation here with Kevin Hart, where he's like, The Rock's like, I only got one life left, man. I can't. I don't want to risk it. And then Kevin Hart's like, That's real life, man. We only got this one life to live. How are you gonna live it? And then he was like, did I just quote our principal right now? And then Fridge comes up with a game plan like it's a football game. We see Karen fighting off Van Pelt soldiers. And then we see The Rock in a badass scene where he gets on the motorcycle and he's using the flamethrower on the front of it, and he makes like a circle around the Jaguars.
That was cool.
That was so sick. And then we see The Rock or Kevin get on an elephant using his zoology skills, and then we see Van Pelt takes Bethany hostage, but Kevin Hart is there on the elephant to break it up, but the jewel is thrown. So The Rock rides up the mountain as Karen grabs the stone, and then Karen.
This whole action sequence is pretty dope.
Yeah, this was sick. I mean, Karen grabs the stone from the snake pit. She kills herself by being bitten and respawns with the stone, and then she throws the stone to The Rock as he's like on top of the Jaguar statue.
And after he grappled.
Yeah, that part was fucking sick. And he like swings,
just lets the bike go. He's swinging around the Jaguar head. He grabs the jewel.
Good. Yeah,
she does a superhero landing. He does the same thing. Like, dude.
And then shout out to the writing of Karen's character, just cheesing the system and playing it like it's an actual video game. Like, she kills herself and respawns with the jewel. I'm like, that's the most video game shit I've ever seen. And it's awesome. So The Rock puts the jewel in the Jaguar's eye.
As long as you save.
Yeah, right. You got to save before. It's like a boss fight. You got to save every time before.
Right before.
And then The Rock puts the jewel in the Jaguar's eye, and then someone says, "You got to call out its name." So they all start to shout out, "Jumanji!" And then the curse is lifted, and then Van Pelt fades away. And then Nigel shows up to congratulate them for beating the game.
Nigel.
And then what happened?
Nigel
shows up congratulating beating the game, and as he shakes their hand, they disappear back to the real world. And then back in the real world, they see Alex's house is normal now. And then Alex, in a turn of events here, he's a grown-ass man with wife and kids. And dude, shout the fuck out to fucking Colin Hanks.
Hanks.
Totally forgot, dude. Totally forgot he was in this movie.
I didn't even.
But I know why. I know why it's Colin Hanks, because Colin Hanks and Jack Black were in Orange County, his first movie, the director's first movie. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that. I was wondering. I was like, why Colin Hanks out of all the actors out there? Like, why him? It's like, oh, they're old buddies. I get it.
Colin Hanks is a cool dude.
He is a cool guy, right? Yeah. I just like how it. I just like how it doesn't end with that typical love story. Also, like everybody thought that Alex and Bethany would be the same age and hook up eventually, but no. He actually transported back to 1996 in his old body, so he just lived his life like normal, like he would have, and somehow, like the rest of the people, like nothing changed with them, which is a little weird. That's when we start to get into like time travel shit, which is whatever.
They just don't dabble with that too much. Yeah, then it starts getting a little kind of.
Yeah, you don't want to think about that too much.
Yeah, you don't want more questions being asked than you have answers for.
And we see Colin Hanks has kids now, and then he tells the gang that he actually named his firstborn daughter after Bethany, the girl who saved his life, which is pretty cool.
I thought that was sweet as
That was
fuck.
cool. Yeah, and of course, they all go back to school. They're all kind of friends together now, and then
Which would not happen in real life, probably.
yeah, they'd be like, "Peace the fuck out, dude. I'm gonna go fucking hang out with my real friends." All right, guys. And then we see Spencer and Martha eventually make out, and they're cool. And then
all of a sudden, they know how to kiss.
Right? Yeah. And then I think the movie ends with them smashing the Atari system with the bowling ball. To which I say, like, how they have? There's a second movie of this. How do they get back into Jumanji? I wonder. Maybe someone made a copy.
I haven't even seen that one.
I haven't either. Yeah, I haven't either. But they somehow get back into the game. So I don't know what happens there. But and of course the movie ends with fucking "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses in the credits, and it's just the perfect way to end this movie. Just a fucking great slap from Guns N' Roses, man. Great. But that's the end of the movie, Myles. I want to ask you, where do you want to rank this movie for our rockin' reviews? This is a tough one.
What was my? I know. Okay, so I had Rundown first, I believe, and then I believe I had Scorpion King and then Pain and Gain.
Right. Yeah.
That was mine.
Right, yeah.
This is just for these 4 movies. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this movie all the way to the top.
I completely agree. This movie was the best one we've seen so far. I mean, the writing is so
in terms
good.
of like overall movie, not just like
not just The Rock. Yeah,
not just The Rock.
Overall movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Even that, I think The Rock, this is his best role for sure. I think it's a good. Actually, that's not true. I think maybe he was a little better in Pain and Gain. He was more of a. I think he had a different. He had more range in Pain and Gain as a character. But I think this is the Rock's sweet spot again, man. He's just he's playing that duality of comedy and action star, and it's just working for him, man. He's made such a great career out of it.
Epitome of an action star, like big.
He's our Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's for sure. Yeah. But Myles, what were your final thoughts of this movie? Actually, do you have trivia? Other trivia facts?
I do. Yeah, I have some more here. I've been sprinkling them in there, So the statues.
That.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the statues in the jungle set are modeled after the board game pieces in the original Jumanji.
Oh fuck! I didn't even fucking think about that.
That's our answer to it.
The fucking elephant. God, that is one of the fucking pieces. Damn, that's good. That's a good one to add. Wow.
I like that little homage.
Yeah.
Homage.
Oh my god, I didn't even know this.
If Dwayne Johnson could play any other role in the film, he'd play Jack Black's character Bethany, Johnson said.
Oh shit.
I know how much fun Jack had every day playing a 60-year-old self-obsessed girl.
Dude, he must have had such a good time playing that character, man. That is so awesome of Jack Black.
It would be... I'm not going to say it's like it would be the easiest role to do, but it would just be the most fun, which...
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at like press photos. Like I was on Karen Gillan's Instagram when you could see them like traveling the world together during their press tour with this movie. I'm like, how fucking fun would that be? Traveling the world with The Rock, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart. That's like the best company ever to hang out with. That is so much fun. I
can get workout tips. I can get some dope ass food tips probably from Jack Black.
Probably getting stoned with Jack Black all day too.
Oh yeah.
And then you're laughing your ass out with Kevin Hart. I mean, you got everything. It's that's like the greatest hangout ever with those three.
Mm-hmm. Fly on the wall in that room. So Jack Black jokes that he was not acting in the scenes when his character was infatuated with Dwayne Johnson's character. He was, in fact, actually infatuated, and the cameras just kept on rolling.
That's so good, man. I love him.
I
miss Jack Black, man. I miss him in movies. There was a hot minute when he was in everything for a hot minute, and then I don't know, he was not in a lot of things anymore. It's unfortunate.
No, he has his Jablinski gaming and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I heard that's pretty funny. He's funny. He's a little over the top, but that's what makes him him. So Dwayne and Kevin are known for their intensive workout routines, but it was Karen Gillan, whose character is an expert in various martial arts and dance fighting, who did the most extensive work with the stunt team to learn the fight choreography for her scenes. So
Oh, good
a
for
lot
her.
of her stunts and choreography was her.
She's in great shape too, man. She had to rock that midriff the whole
Yeah,
movie.
she
You
did.
you got to stay on tip top shape during the
Uh-huh.
whole filming, so that kind of sucks. But she
It's
actually had
funny,
she had that good line too. She was like, "Why am I wearing this a
which
leather
is
halter top in a jungle? Like this is so
exactly.
stupid."
And she right here it says Ruby Roundhouse's outfit was influenced by that of Laura Croft, the protagonist of Tomb Raider
Ah,
video games and movies.
Laura.
And Martha comments on how impractical the outfit is to wear in the jungle.
Yeah, yeah. That's I didn't realize. Yeah, that is a total like Tomb Raider outfit. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Uh, Dwayne and Kevin credit their on-screen chemistry to their off-screen friendship.
Yeah,
So
what a great
it's
friendship they have too.
cute.
They're always shooting on each other like in like Instagram and shit. It's funny. It's great.
Dude, so Dwayne Johnson found his character of Spencer slash Dr. Bravestone all too relatable. At age 16, he resembled a 46-year-old man standing at 6'4", weighing 245 pounds, and
16?
16, and
Holy
sporting
fuck.
a thick mustache. It's 16.
Shit.
He said, despite his bulky exterior, the young Dwayne was very much a vulnerable teen trying to find himself.
That is insane. You're a fucking NFL player at 16, basically. Oh my god. You're a
What are you
superhero
eating?
at 16. Holy shit.
6'4", 205 pounds. with
That's
a
from
thick
his dad,
mustache.
man. That fucking
Rocky.
yeah,
Rocky
Rocky
Johnson.
Johnson. God, genetics, crazy.
Crazy. In researching the character of Bethany, Jack Black went to Madison Iseman, who plays the actual chick,
Right.
asking about her favorite music and TV shows. So he watched and listened and got into that headspace, which is cool.
Yeah, that's good.
That Alex's treehouse was an actual treehouse built around a sprawling banyan tree and hidden in the jungle foliage.
Oh,
So it's
that's
a
cool.
real treehouse.
That's awesome.
Kevin Hart says his backpack was a character unto itself. It just became the unsung hero because everything is always directed to my backpack. He said that was his go-to for any improv or any comedy.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, that one part where
Yeah.
they're like, "We gotta break into the fence. Does anybody have any tools?" And he's like, he just reaches out. "I got these bolt cutters. Are these okay?" And the Rock's like, "Yeah, that's fine. That'll do."
Perfect.
He's like, "That's that backpack power, baby."
There's this one here, but I don't understand it because I don't know if it was in a different part, maybe at the end of the movie or something, but it says the cast members were asked if they were able to sing a part of Axl Rose's song Welcome to the Jungle, and they all did. Jack Black sang lead vocals, then Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart joined him. Jack Black decided to perform Axl Rose's unforgettable and iconic Scream, but I don't know where.
Oh,
at.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe it's like a delete. Maybe something they just never used. Something they just cut off, which kind of sucks. I would have liked to see that.
The Jack Black says the script in some ways reminded him of The Breakfast Club, which is the same vibe I kind of got with the detention and
Oh,
these out
yeah, that makes
these
sense.
kids that don't ever cross paths really, or you
Yeah,
wouldn't think
yeah.
finally do, and then they become friends.
Wow, I've never seen the movie, but I know about that. Yeah, so
It's
that's
kind of
interesting.
like it's dated.
Yeah.
It's like 16.
It's I heard it's a classic though. Yeah, it's a classic '80s movie from what I've heard.
Yeah. Sir Darius Blaine, who plays Fridge, Sir Darius, that's his name,
Wow.
is actually 30 years old.
I was about
Nick
to say
Jonas-
that's a grown ass man. How dare they?
Nick Jonas is 25 years old, while Alex
What?
Wolf,
He's only
Morgan
25?
Turner. Yeah. Well, I think that was
that was in
the time.
2017. So
Yeah. So he's pushing 30 almost.
okay, we're almost the same age. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. While Alex Wolf, Morgan Turner, and Madison Iseman range from 18 to 20. So yeah. And I don't know how old The Rock is.
The Rock, he's got to be almost 50. I think he's like in his late 40s.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think I got one more here. The open field scene where the cast was chased by bikers was shot at Kualoa Ranch in Hawaii, where Jurassic World 2015 was filmed. When the camera is at a particular angle, you can tell exactly what scene from Jurassic World was filmed there.
Ah.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Fuck Jurassic World, though, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck that movie.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit.
Let's get some final thoughts on this movie before we get out of here, Myles. Man, yeah, I think it's just a super fun movie. I loved it. I love every second of it. I think it's perfectly paced. I think the length of the movie was almost perfect. I think it was 1 hour 59 minutes. Not too long, not too short either. But yeah, the acting of this, just the heart of it. Fucking Jack Black, just destroying it. One of the greatest roles ever. But I don't know if he carries that character over to the next movie, but yeah, I have no interest in seeing the next one, honestly. This movie was so good. I don't want the next one to taint my view on this movie, so I never even gave it a chance. So it's like, whatever, fuck it.
Yeah, that you kind of cut out there at the end.
Oh, sorry.
Weird. The heck? Wait, what were you asking me?
No, yeah, your final thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised by how much I like this movie, as you can tell by my placement.
I'm glad you were, yeah.
And I didn't hear the same things about the second one. I feel like maybe the second one was kind of just trying to piggyback off of the success of this one after they didn't realize how much of a success it was going to be.
Right.
So I'm not looking forward to watching it, but I will watch it after watching this one. And I really like this movie. I would watch it again for sure. And
yeah, I know that The Rock plays Danny DeVito, actually. Like, Danny DeVito and Danny Glover are in the next one. So The Rock plays the Danny DeVito character, and then Kevin Hart plays the Danny Glover character. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. I think that Kevin Hart could play a good Danny Glover, but I don't know about The Rock playing Danny DeVito. That's a reach. That's a hard one to do.
You said he is the Schwarzenegger of our generation, and what I remember,
little twins.
They were twins.
That's right. But yeah, next week we are going to be doing the first episode of the what's that shit called?
Broken Lizard
series with Slammin' Salmon. Rockin' Reviews has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad you finally got to watch this movie. Pain and Gain. Was that your first time watching that one as well?
That was my first time watching it in its entirety. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you got to watch those movies and revisit some classics with the Scorpion King and the Rundown. I hope you guys get to watch the Rundown for sure, because goddamn, what a movie
That's
that
a movie
was.
that everybody should watch, especially if you like The Rock. That is coming into his his body almost too, because he wasn't as big, and wasn't engorged.
Oh my god, him in this movie.
Like, I feel like movies now with him, it's just all about the muscles. You know?
Him in this movie, dude, where he's got the fucking shirt down to here, his fucking seps, man, just unbelievable. Too bad he didn't take his shirt off. But that's it for Rockin' Reviews, everybody. We'll see you next week.
I'm sure we're gonna do another series of that. He's gonna have a lot more movies coming out.
Yeah, we could definitely do another Rockin' Reviews.
He's gonna be an action star,
absolutely,
for many years to come.
Definitely. But that is it for today. Have an interesting day, everybody.
Pulling out.